How's it going, everybody? And welcome to Just Somebody's Podcast. I'm your host, Ryan.
And I'm your host, Daniel.
And today we're doing a podcast.
Woo!
This is not just any other podcast. Today is 100 episodes. 100. It's pretty crazy, guys. Thank you so much for being on this journey with us. Thank you for, watching every week, commenting what you guys want us to talk about, and just being a part of this community with us. It's been such a dream come true to be able to talk with you guys, talk about things that we're passionate about, along with things that you guys also enjoy and that we can be a part of this, like talking about whatever, pop culture, entertainment, just things that we all enjoy. And it's just such a blessing for us to be a part of this. So without further ado, let's get into the podcast. Smash that like button, hit the subscribe button. Comment what you guys want us to talk about next week. Since we are doing the 100th episode, we are going to be giving away one of these hot toys. If this video gets 1,000 likes, we will give away a hot toy of anybody's choice. So
Dang, that's
comment.
crazy. Anybody's. Oh man,
That's crazy, huh? Comment whichever hot toy you want, and let's get into the podcast.
okay. Starting off, haven't done this in a while. Dumb ways to die.
Dumb ways to die.
Welcome back to Dumb Ways to Die, where I talk about the craziest and stupidest ways people have died.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, so this first one, this was in Florida. Okay, and these guys were playing frisbee golf.
Okay.
And this guy accidentally threw his frisbee into the water,
Okay.
right? But this guy would often go into that water,
Yeah.
and he would fish out frisbees and sell it back to the owners.
Oh.
So he would go in there, if he saw someone throw it in, he
Yeah.
would go get it and be like, "Oh no, I found it. It's mine. You have to buy it back from me."
Smart business.
Yeah. So he would go in there and make people buy their frisbee back. So now he threw his frisbee in,
Okay.
and he's been in this body of water many times, right? So he thought, okay, I'm just gonna go in and get my frisbee out. So he goes in the water. Now, what a lot of people seem to forget: what's in the water in Florida?
Alligators.
Alligators, right? He stepped not even 5 seconds in the water,
Yeah.
and he got mauled
Oh my gosh.
by alligators. But what's crazy is he's been in that water countless times.
Man, he made a whole business out of reselling these frisbees by going in the water, and the one time he goes to get his own, he dies. That is unbelievable that he was able to manage to hide away from the alligator all this time.
Yeah. Okay, so the next one. I'm going to start from the end of this story, okay?
Okay.
So this guy was just driving down the road,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden, he passes out and crashes into a building and dies, okay?
That's horrible.
Yeah. But firefighters didn't know what happened. Nobody knew what happened. Everybody thought that he just fell asleep at the wheel.
Yeah.
Then the firefighters extinguished the car, and they opened the door, and a bunch of grills, barbecue grills, come out of the car. And there's hot coals in the grill. So now everybody's like, what the heck was going on? So they're like, who it was this guy?
Yeah.
And he would give barbecue seminars to people, right? But when he was packing up, he forgot to extinguish everything, and he just put it in his car.
Oh, that's horrible.
I guess when you burn coals, that's why this is why everybody says don't have a grill in a enclosed area, because it releases carbon monoxide,
Right.
and it made him pass out.
Ah, that's devastating.
Okay, so the last one. Okay, this one's crazy. So this guy, he's starting a new business. He's making an energy drink business.
Oh,
okay?
nice.
And he is very proud of his business. He thinks this energy drink's the next big thing. It's gonna be the biggest one out there.
Yeah.
Okay, so he wanted to shoot a crazy commercial for it. Because
Uh-huh.
he said, this is going to be the biggest thing. It needs to have the biggest commercial, the craziest stunt. A Red Bull always does crazy stunts.
Yeah.
So he's like, I'm going to prove to people that you could outrun a train if you drink this drink.
How do you outrun a train?
So this is what he did, okay? They went to the train tracks.
Okay.
He was on an empty train track, and there was a train on a regular train track next to it.
Okay.
And he was running in front of the train on the empty train track to make it look like he was beating the train, okay?
Uh-huh.
Right, so the train was on a different track, he was on a different track. Little did he know that train tracks merge. You know how they cross and they merge into one?
Yeah.
So he was running and they're filming, right? And the train's catching up to him, and the tracks merge, and he didn't see it in time, and he got ran over.
Oh.
So it was merging into one.
Yeah.
The two tracks were merging into one. So he was just running, and then all of a sudden the tracks merged, and the train caught him.
So he was running on an empty train.
Yeah, he was running on an empty track, right?
Yeah.
And there was another track next to him with the train on it.
Yeah.
So from the side, it looks like he's outrunning the train, and they're on the same track. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
Yeah. But then the track merged together into
Got
one.
it.
Yeah.
You would think whoever is in charge of, marketing or safety or the train conductor or somebody.
No, they told him that you should not do this. You cannot get licensed or contracted to do this because it's too dangerous.
Yeah.
And he snuck on and did it.
Oh, on a real life train. It is a train that was already going. It wasn't planned.
It wasn't planned. He was asking if he could be allowed to do it.
Right. But the train was just taking its usual route.
Right.
And all of a sudden he's like, oh, it's coming. Time to do it. Got it.
It wasn't okay, we're filming the commercial now. Let
Yeah.
the train go.
I see. That is unbelievable. Oh, moral of the story is don't run on train tracks.
And thank you for watching Dumb Ways to Die.
Okay, moving on. Now we are going on to Versus. Now, Versus is a segment where we have two people, right? We have Captain America versus Iron Man, and we have to see who's superior, who's better. And we're going to be comparing today which video game characters have the most Riz. Meaning, which one's going to get the, the girl, which one's going to get the guy, whichever, who has the most success in dating.
Oh, that's a good one.
Okay, so here we go. First contestants, Mario versus Bowser.
Oh, okay. Okay, I see where this one's going.
Yeah.
I think it's Bowser. You know why?
Why?
Why would is the whole theory, right?
Yeah.
Why does Peach always end up in Bowser's hands?
Bowser goes the unethical, illegal route.
Hang on a second. How is she like this super guarded princess?
Yeah.
That always ends up with Bowser.
You're right. It's just the Riz.
It's the Riz.
It's the Riz. All right, moving on. Joel from The Last of Us versus Nathan Drake.
Ooh, Joel from The Last of Us versus Nathan Drake.
Let me just put this out there.
You know what?
Before you answer, okay? So in The Last of Us, before they remastered the video game, Joel has this girl that he meets after, his daughter dies, right? In the original game. Yes, Tess. Okay. The original Tess in the first Last of Us game literally looked like she was 20 years old. Okay? The game developers thought that was a little weird, so for the remastered version, they aged her up, right? And in the show, they aged her up too.
They aged her.
But in the original game, she was like 20 years old, and Joel was with that girl.
Right.
Okay, now Nathan Drake versus Joel.
Joel. I mean, okay, the whole test thing, right? But Joel just seems like just an overall better fighter and everything. Right?
I mean,
Joel's got the whole package.
I know Naughty Dog makes Nathan Drake, but I think we know who the Naughty Dog is. Okay.
Joel's got that dog in him.
Oh, okay. Kratos versus Johnny Cage from Mortal Kombat.
All right, say that again.
Kratos versus Johnny Cage.
Johnny Cage.
Yeah, Johnny Cage does got. Hey, Kratos.
No, Kratos.
God of War.
Crazy, yeah. But Johnny Cage, come on.
Nah, I think Kratos. But it's your opinion.
You know what? In the games, though, I think Kratos does go pretty crazy. Like he gets the ladies.
Yeah, he has a kid too.
Yeah.
He might have a lot of kids. Okay, moving on. Laura Croft versus Elena Fisher from Uncharted.
Laura
Croft, sorry. Elena Fisher from the Uncharted series, Nathan Drake's love interest.
I think the majority answer here is Laura Croft.
Yes. I mean, there's no really disputing it. Okay, Luigi versus Wario.
Ooh, you know what? Nah, I think it's Luigi. I was gonna say Wario because I feel like he's got that little I don't know. He's got something about him.
Yeah.
Might be a little sneaky. But Luigi, I think Luigi's just got it. He's taller,
He's like that very the quiet guy.
Yeah.
The quiet one. He doesn't have to do much. He's slim. He's tall. He's decent looking. He's just
like
kind of just chills.
The mysterious one.
Yeah.
He's quiet, so it makes people want to know what he's like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It makes the girls want to know him.
Okay, moving on. Rosalina versus Princess Peach.
Ooh, Rosalina versus Princess Peach. Rosalina. You know why? Because Peach is for the streets.
Oh.
Rosalina.
Nico Bellic from GTA 4 versus Michael from GTA 5.
I mean, Michael. Can't dispute Michael.
Yeah, Michael's a Naughty Dog.
Yeah. He's got that dog too.
Okay, moving on. Ellie from The Last of Us versus Jill Valentine from Resident Evil.
Hang on. Ellie's
okay.
Is she even 18? She is 18 in the second one.
Okay, yeah. We're going to take Ellie from the second game. Sorry. Let me make that clear. Ellie from the second game. Not the first game.
Who versus who? Jill from
Resident Evil.
Resident Evil. Ooh, I think Jill, right?
Yeah. I was going to say, don't say Ellie. You're going to get in trouble. Okay. Kirby versus Pac-Man.
What?
Who do you think?
Kirby.
Really? Are you sure?
Versus Pac-Man?
Bro, Pac-Man got Mrs. Pac-Man. That means he's already... Who Kirby got?
You don't know who Kirby's got.
Oh, you know what? Kirby, though? Kirby does got a lot of people inside of him.
Okay,
Kirby be getting some, he actually be doing a lot more. I mean, I know Pac-Man be chewing he be
okay. I saw where that was going.
Okay. Wait, did you pick?
I picked Kirby.
Oh yeah, that's the right choice. Sonya Blade from Mortal Kombat versus Vi from Arcane League of Legends.
Ooh, I think Vi. Vi's a pretty cool character.
Yeah,
Vi has Riz.
Vi has Riz.
That was proven in the show. Vi has Riz.
Master Chief versus Ghost from Call of Duty.
Ghost. Come on, Master Chief versus Ghost. Ghost.
You think
Ghost all the way. Are you kidding me? Ghost is way better.
so? Samus from Metroid versus Zelda.
Samus.
Yeah, Samus is pretty.
You ever seen Zero Suit Samus?
No.
Give it a look.
Okay. Captain Price from Call of Duty versus Agent 47 from Hitman.
Captain Price.
What?
I'm telling you, Call of Duty characters, Riz.
Dude, Agent
Captain
47.
Price, that bucket hat and that mustache, bro, he's got Riz.
No.
Yeah.
Over Hitman.
Tango down.
Chun-Li from Street Fighter versus Melina from Mortal Kombat.
Chun-Li wouldn't probably eat my face, right? Melina probably would. So I think Chun-Li.
All right. Crash Bandicoot versus Spiral. Who gets the most?
Ooh, Crash Bandicoot versus
Dude, I feel like
Spyro.
Crash Bandicoot is pretty crazy.
Yeah, I feel like, yeah. I think you gotta go Crash Bandicoot, right?
Yeah. Some,
I think Spiral's like,
some of
nah.
those people want that toxic behavior. All right. Sonic versus Pikachu.
Sonic.
Yeah, Sonic is
Yeah,
more
I think
human-like.
Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with not being human.
Well, I feel like Pikachu just wouldn't be able to vocalize, you know?
Pika Pika. Captain Falcon versus Star Fox.
Captain Falcon versus Star Fox. Captain Falcon.
Yeah, Captain Falcon.
Got that Falco punch.
Yeah. He's putting the punch in Falco. Whatever that means. All right, that was versus. Comment what you guys think. Comment if you guys agree with the Daniel's answers. Who do you think has the most Riz? Who would you date if you're into that?
I like that one. I like this versus. This is a good versus.
Yeah, put some extra thought into
I think
that.
you need to do more of these. Like,
Yeah.
Which characters have more Riz? Okay, moving on to whose side are you on? We're starting off with a juicy one. The only one, actually. I think this is a pretty juicy one, though.
Okay.
So, am I wrong for telling my extended family how many men my sister has slept with after she outed our youngest brother as a virgin?
Whoa.
Okay, we had a family dinner this evening. My family has 4 kids total. Me, my older sister, my younger sister, and my youngest brother. Extended family attended our family dinner, so all of our significant others, our cousins, our aunts and uncles, etc. During the dinner, my eldest sister and my youngest brother got into a mild disagreement. My sister seemed to be coming across very aggressive out of frustration and losing said argument. The two of them were too absorbed in their argument to realize the rest of us were getting a little bit fed up. Eventually, my sister got really fed up and said, "Shut up, I'm not going to argue with a 22-year-old virgin." My brother hadn't done any personal attacks up until that point. It was completely unprovoked. I think it might have been the alcohol. My sister was a bit of a mean drunk. Anyway, I immediately told my sister to grow up and that she was making an embarrassment of herself. She replied by saying everybody knows he's a virgin and she didn't say anything wrong. This annoyed me as my brother definitely has some confidence issues and doesn't need to be made fun of like this. So I responded by saying how she slept with well over 100 men while she was in college, and that since everybody in the family knows, this is not a big deal, right? And it turns out her husband didn't know this, and I genuinely assumed he must have known. He left the party angrily, saying my sister misled him about her past. Family is blaming me for their marital problems. I refuse to accept I did anything wrong. My sister bullied my brother in front of everyone, and all I was doing was giving her a taste of her own medicine. Was I wrong for doing this?
Dang. That is crazy.
That's insane. I mean, okay, the brother
yeah.
didn't do anything personal.
Right.
Didn't say anything personal about her.
Yeah.
And she went out and said, "I'm not going to argue with a 22-year-old virgin." In
Yeah.
front of the whole family.
I know. To be fair, though, the sister really dug deep
The sister dug deep.
and
Right.
revealed so much.
Yeah, but did the sister really need to did the oldest sister really need to say that to the younger brother? No.
No, that is true.
Yeah. In front of everybody too. Now, if the person writing the story, okay, I think that she went far,
Yeah.
right? But I don't think it was too far.
No.
After what she said to the
guess
brother.
Yeah, I mean, she definitely should have said that to the brother. That was really effed up.
Yeah. Especially if you know the brother has confidence issues already.
Yeah.
You do not need to say that in front of the family and extended family.
Yeah.
That is messed up.
Yeah, I think it's only fair for the husband to know, too.
Yeah. Okay. See that the husband left and said that he lied to her about her past.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's like when you go on OfferUp, right? And you see an item,
Yeah.
right? And it says brand new, right? You
Yeah.
pay full price, right?
Yeah.
Come to find out, bro, that thing was used 100 times. Hey, it's all love though. Hey, you know what? Hey, that toast, like if I bought a toaster on OfferUp, right, and it was used, I bet it still toasts the bread still fine after 100 slices of bread. I still think it toasts the bread just as good.
You think so?
Yeah.
The springs might be a little worn.
But hey, the bread still fit. It all good.
Okay, but okay. Now, who is right and who's wrong here? I think the story writer is not wrong.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think the story writer is wrong at all. I think that, you never want to fight fire with fire, but out of, the brother's protection, she kind of went that route of going fire with fire. Now, does it make it right? No. But do I think she's wrong? No.
Right.
So I would go with the writer. I think the writer is right.
I think the better way to say it is the writer's not wrong.
You're right. The writer's not wrong.
It might have not been the right thing to do.
Yeah.
But she's not wrong for doing it.
You're right.
I think that's the way we got to go. The older sister's wrong.
All right, moving on. So this is the 100th episode. We wanted to make it a little bit different. So we thought we'd go through and tell some of our favorite theories, facts, whatever it may be. It's just some of our personal favorites of topics that we've talked about throughout the podcast. And we thought we'd share it today, kind of like reminisce of what we used to do. See what you guys think.
It's like a history lesson. Just nobody's history.
So remember how I shared with you how you could actually get stronger without having to work out or doing anything physical?
Okay, I actually know people that have done this and it actually works.
So basically, scientists found a way for us to get stronger without working out. All we have to do is sit on the couch and you don't have to do anything physical. Because what they found was that our brains are actually stronger than we think, and our brains can convince our bodies to get stronger without lifting our fingers at all. So there was a study done at the Cleveland Clinic where they had 10 participants come into the lab, and what they did was they had the 10 people visualize that they're doing bicep curls, and they had them do this 30 times a day for 5 days a week. Now remember, they are just visualizing doing bicep curls. They're not actually doing it. So 2 weeks after doing this, all 10 participants actually got 13.5% stronger than they were when they first started. And then 2 months after the experiment was done, they got even stronger after that. So it just showed how much our brain is able to control our body.
I mean, obviously things like this won't replace actually working out, but this could be a good option if you're taking like a day off.
Yeah, you should always exercise. Physical exercise is always the best, but it was just a crazy experiment. Maybe these 10 people were just special, but it is amazing that they were able to do this.
Well, I mean, if they got 13% stronger, I think it definitely does something.
No,
13% is a lot.
And you know what's amazing? When you look at sports, right? When you have to go through whatever it may be, shooting free throws in basketball, making a 3-foot putt in golf, whatever it may be, the best athletes all visualize their shots, right? So like on the free throw line, Kobe Bryant used to visualize the shot going in every single time, where the ball's going to enter, how it's going to enter, the speed at what the ball's going to enter. And just like with putting, right, when you do golf, whatever it may be, you visualize the shot, you visualize the ball going in, and our body doesn't know the difference between visualization and the act of doing. So what happens is when you visualize it, your body's like, oh, I've done this before because I've seen myself do it.
Right.
But really it was just a visualization in your brain. So that's why it's so important to visualize, you making the putt, making the shot.
Your brain works crazy.
Oh, this is really interesting. Remember when I told you all the illegal names that people cannot name their kids in the United States?
Oh, dude, this is crazy.
What's so crazy is that some of these illegal names get passed through the system, and then the government finds out later, and they actually track down these people, and sometimes they punish them for it.
It's crazy that people can get caught later for having like an illegal name.
Yes. So starting out with the first illegal name that you can't name your kid is Jesus Christ, Messiah, the @ symbol, King, Queen, the number 3, Santa Claus, Majesty, Adolf Hitler, and 1069. I don't know why that is, but another name that you can't name your kid is Facebook, 007, Thor, James Bond, Monkey, Hermione, Batman, and Burger King.
See, I never understood the Burger King one, but I do have a friend named King, so maybe he might get caught.
I don't know. I
I
feel
shouldn't
like
have said that.
Yeah, man. King.
Sorry, King.
Okay, so I don't remember exactly when I told you this, but I think it was like a year ago. But do you remember when I told you about the school hack that no teacher wants their students knowing?
Oh, I think I remember this one.
So for everyone that's in school, whenever your teacher assigns you an essay, usually there's a word minimum. And you have to hit that word minimum just to be able to submit the assignment. And sometimes it's very difficult to hit the word count minimum on these essays. But what if I told you there was a hack to always make your essays longer without even trying?
Dude, my last semester of college, I actually used these.
Okay, so when you're writing an essay and you write the word because, instead of writing the word because, write this instead, the particular reason for the circumstance, and instead of writing the words this means, write this instead. This actively demonstrates that. And instead of writing in conclusion, write to sum up everything that has been stated so far. And instead of writing the word for, write for the exact purpose of, and instead of writing the word like, write along the lines of.
When you really think about it, it does make sense why teachers wouldn't want their students to know that.
Yeah, I mean, it is a really good hack, okay? Because, you know, like when you're writing, there's only so much you could stretch out words. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this really gives you like a pretty good blueprint. I feel like it helps a lot of people. We use because a lot. We use the word like a lot. We use the word in conclusion a lot.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like these are easy ways to make that essay a little bit longer.
I mean, it's turning a one word like thing into like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
So it's really adding up.
It really does. Comment if you guys have ever used that in an essay. I am not responsible for your teacher saying, hey, this is kind of wordy. Okay. Yes, it may be wordy, but you did hit that minimum.
I used it. My teacher didn't say anything.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on, I want to talk about a theory because as you guys know, Daniel and I love theories. We love talking about fandom theories. We love talking about like real life theories. But with the writer strike going on right now, we're trying to observe, and out of respect, we are not doing any movie content theories.
Yeah.
But as you guys know, Justin Nobody's talked about a lot of movie theories, a lot of pop culture theories. So we want to talk about some of the pop culture ones that are not movies.
Mm-hmm.
So the one theory that I thought was absolutely crazy is the Elvis Presley theory.
Oh, yeah.
So we all know Elvis Presley. He's literally one of the biggest pop stars, rock stars to ever walk the earth. Unfortunately, he died in 1977. But what's really weird is that the family of Elvis Presley never wanted to release the real reason why he died until the year 2027. So that would be roughly about 50 years after he passed away. But recently, a guy named Jesse Garon claims that he's Elvis Presley. But what's crazy is no one believes Jesse Garon because he lives in a mental hospital.
And Jesse Garon really looks like Elvis.
Yeah, so a doctor named Dr. Hinton who worked at the mental hospital said to Jesse Garon, like, hey, if you're really Elvis Presley, then you have to take a DNA test to prove this. And what's so crazy is the results of the DNA test is unbelievable because when the DNA results came back, Jesse Garon's DNA matched Elvis Presley's DNA exactly. And what's even crazier is Jesse Garon's DNA matches Elvis Presley's mom and dad's DNA as well.
See, that just doesn't make sense if he's not Elvis.
It doesn't make sense. And yeah, some people are going to say that, you know, Elvis Presley had a brother that passed away when he was younger. This Jesse Garon guy was not Elvis's brother because Jesse Garon is still alive. Like, was still alive. You know what I mean? Like, it's not.
It's not adding up.
It's not adding up. And I am not going to sit here and say that it is Elvis Presley. I'm just saying the theory is Dr. Hinton. It could be some Shutter Island stuff, and maybe Dr. Hinton should be the one in the mental institute. And, you know, maybe it's all baloney.
I think we need to get this Jesse guy to sing.
Yeah, Jesse, get out the guitar and microphone. Let's see what you got. And Dr. Hinton, I hope you're not lying.
That would be really crazy if he was lying about that.
Another theory that was absolutely crazy that I still can't believe is the theory about how plants listen to what humans say.
Okay, yeah, this one's insane.
So for everyone who doesn't know about this, IKEA did a study where they had 2 plants. And both of these plants were exactly the same. They were just the same plant exactly. So what they did was they had little kids talking to a recorder saying the words like, you're ugly, you're never gonna grow, you're the worst. And they separated the 2 plants and they put the recorder by one of the plants and played all these negative words throughout the day. And then they had another group of kids say a bunch of positive things into the recorder like, you're gonna grow, you're the best, you're so cool. And then the scientists put that recorder by the other plant and they played all the positive words throughout the day. And keep in mind, each of these plants were given the same amount of water, same amount of sunlight. It was practically all the same except one thing, and that is one was being told negative things and one was being told positive things.
Right, so the only difference was the recordings.
Yeah, so after 30 days of doing this experiment, what they found was the plant that was being told positive things actually grew really strong and grew very healthy. But the plant that was being told negative things was actually drooping and dying. I mean, it totally shows how even for plants, right, bullying is so bad and it could actually be killing people as we speak. And if it does this to plants, who knows what it's doing to real people, right? Like the damage that bullying and negative words could do to people, it's probably horrific.
Honestly, hearing this theory like gives me goosebumps because when you really think about it, you really never thought that plants would have feelings like that. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, and it's also what's so amazing about this experiment is it should give people a better understanding of the words they use, right?
Yeah.
The words that you use have so much power that you have to be responsible with that power because you're not a superhero. Right? Doesn't mean you don't got power.
Exactly.
Obviously, your words have a lot of power.
Words are weapons, man.
Yeah, words are weapons. And shame on you if you use your words in a bad way. Like if you spend your time trying to look for ways to use your words to affect someone in a negative way,
right,
when you could be using your words to actually help someone live.
Yeah.
Right? Why are you killing people by using your words like in a negative way? Like it's just horrible.
Yeah. It's really crazy when you put it in like that perspective.
Okay, so moving on to a lighter note. I know the last theory, it was good to learn. It was a really good topic, you know, to learn about how words are damaging, but it's also very depressing to know that you can walk down the street and someone that's saying negative things to you are probably killing you in a sense.
Yeah. I mean, Dude, words hurt. It's hard to really like get that point across.
Yeah.
But words do really hurt.
They really do. And for people that don't know about it, right?
Yeah.
At least hopefully this plant visualization will help them realize, maybe I shouldn't, say hurtful things.
Yeah, whether you're speaking it or typing it.
Okay, so moving on. Do you remember when I told you what is the rarest month to be born in?
Oh yeah, this was pretty surprising.
Like I said before, everyone's unique in their own way, but there's actually people that are considered rare because, as you know, not everyone's the same, everyone's different, and there's just some people that are more special than others. So I'm going to tell you guys what is the rarest month to be born in and what is the most common months to be born in. So first, I'll tell you the most common. Okay, so the 5th most common month to be born in is July. The 4th most common is August. The 3rd most common is March. The 2nd most common is October. And the most common month with the most people born in it is September.
It's all those babies made on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, so now I'm going to tell you the most rarest months to be born on. So the 5th rarest month to be born in is November. The 4th rarest is January. The 3rd rarest is March. And the 2nd rarest is December. And the month that hardly anyone is born in is February. So when you look at February being the rarest month that hardly anyone is born in, you have to look 9 months before that.
Right.
No one's working.
They're not doing
The bake shop is closed or something.
Yeah.
Something's going on.
Yeah, that's so weird.
What is 9 months before February?
Isn't it May?
What happens in May?
I feel like
besides Star Wars Day.
Oh, Star Wars. Oh, they're not working on Star Wars Day. Okay, so moving on, I wanted to talk about some theories too. This is a crazy theory about school.
Oh gosh, we're bringing up the school theories today. Teachers are going to be pissed.
So this is the theory on people who get bad grades.
Oh, I remember this one. This one really boosts my confidence after hearing this one.
Yeah, so there's a theory that's based on studies between people who get A's and people who get C's, and they found that the students who usually get C's actually end up being more successful than the students that get A's.
It is crazy because it's basically saying the lower the grade you have, the better outcome you will have.
Exactly. So the theory states that for the students that get A's, they actually lack creativity and they don't like to take risks because they're scared of failing because they are so used to succeeding. But for the students that get C's, they actually are a lot more creative and they like to take risks because they're not scared of failure. And what's even crazier, there's a quote from Bill Gates that says he would rather hire a lazy person over a super smart person because the lazy person will actually find an easy and efficient way to do the task.
Yeah, I mean, it is amazing, right? How some people may appear lazy in school, but, maybe they have like a side gig where they're hustling, selling, snacks at school. Like they're very entrepreneurial.
Yeah.
And that is something that school doesn't teach you, right? So
exactly.
There's definitely skills out there that some people that are, quote unquote, lazy, right? But in business world and in life, they're actually not lazy.
Yeah.
Just like the school system makes them think that they're lazy, but they're really not.
But isn't it crazy? Because when you get C's, right?
Yeah.
You're kind of used to being not always hitting that 100% mark.
Right.
So you're more inclined to take risks, like even when it's like starting a business or anything like that, you're more inclined to take that risk and fail.
Yeah.
Because you've gotten used to doing that.
And just so everyone knows, okay, my grades were not very good.
Right. And my grades are very good.
I am definitely more risky, I feel like, than you.
Yeah, you definitely are.
Yeah. But it's a good lesson, right? That sometimes in life, when you are being told like, hell, you're not good at school, you're not going to make it, right? That's not necessarily true, right? Like, people are just better in some aspects of life than other aspects. And sometimes those other aspects are high to a higher regard, like school and stuff. But in the reality of things, who cares?
Yeah, but moving on to the next theory, this one's absolutely crazy. But do you remember the theory on the books that actually predicted everything that happened in 2020?
This was actually really crazy when I heard this.
Yeah, so around 40 years ago, there was a book called Eyes of Darkness, but there was also another book called End of Days. And there's a theory that these two books actually predicted what was going to happen in 2020. And I think we all know what happened in 2020. So the book literally says, in the year 2020, there will be a pneumonia-like illness that spreads throughout the world, and it will attack everybody's lungs. Then it says it will mysteriously disappear, but then come back 10 years later and then be done for good.
It is truly unbelievable how a book can predict it almost to a T of what ended up happening in 2020.
Yeah, like it says in 2020, there will be a pneumonia-like illness that will attack the lungs and the bronchial tubes.
It is unbelievable that literally 2020 is when we had COVID, and for it to happen like it said in the book is crazy.
And it said it will disappear just as mysteriously as it happened.
Yeah, so what's weird is I know like when I've gotten COVID before, like if you guys have gotten COVID, you know what I'm talking about. When you get COVID, you're sick for like a week or two, right? And then all of a sudden the next day after the week or two, when it's gone, it's gone. You feel like it literally left your body and you feel like a normal person again. And when you test negative, for the most part, you feel like it just disappeared from your body instantly. Right. Whereas most illnesses, you feel like it kind of lingers and you slowly, gradually get better. But with COVID, it seemed like I got better instantly once it was gone.
Yeah. And what's scary too is that it says it's going to come back in 10 years.
Yeah. I mean, I believe it. I don't doubt it now.
Okay, so moving on. Now we're on to the theory on why the youngest sibling is actually the best sibling in the family. Because there have been studies on parents, and they actually found that 70% of parents actually have a favorite child, and majority of that 70% actually pick the youngest child. And there was also a psychologist named Alfred Adler who actually tested younger siblings, and he found that they were more confident and they're actually better at problem solving than all the other siblings.
I still can't believe that parents agreed to do a study like that.
Yeah, but there's also other studies that found that the younger sibling is actually more likely to take risks because they're more rebellious, and they found that their sense of humor actually makes more sense than their other siblings. And there's this thing called the sibling effect, where they found that the younger sibling is actually more likely to become a pro athlete because they experience their own lives, but also they experience the lives of their older siblings. So overall, they get more experience than all the other siblings.
It does make sense that the younger sibling does have a better shot at becoming pro just because they saw like their older brothers or sisters go through it.
Yeah, I mean, they just have more experience than everyone, right? Because
Right.
they get to learn from the mistakes that everyone else made.
And I feel like having older siblings, right?
Yeah.
It definitely makes the younger sibling maybe have to fend for themselves better, be stronger, right?
Right.
Because their older siblings are like might beat them up or like something, you know what I mean? But naturally the younger sibling has to, be stronger because they have someone above them, right? That's older.
Yeah.
So it kind of forces them to grow up a little faster maybe.
Yeah, so moving on, this is the theory on the Bermuda Triangle and what it actually is.
I still don't understand the mystery behind it.
Yeah, so there's been many instances where people go missing in the Bermuda Triangle, whether it be a plane or a boat or anything. They just go missing in this triangle. And apparently less than 10% of the world's ocean is discovered. So we really don't know everything that's down there. But what's weird is in 2021, the Navy set off a bomb, a 40,000-pound bomb in the Bermuda Triangle for training. But a lot of people think that they're actually covering up something in the Bermuda Triangle and they're trying to destroy what's in it.
Yeah, I mean the 40,000-pound bomb is very unnecessary for just training.
Right, and it's weird that they detonate this bomb over an area where 16 boats and 15 recorded planes have gone missing when they're traveling over it. So people are saying the theory is what's actually in the Bermuda Triangle is actually Atlantis.
When you first told me this theory, I believe it 100%. I think there's something over there.
It's weird. Okay, it's a stretch, but it's weird.
I mean, let's talk about this, right? So when you look at the Bermuda Triangle, right? How many boats and how many planes have gone
I
missing?
think it was like 15 boats and 16 planes.
Yeah,
Something like that.
so
Or 16 and 15.
Let's think about this for a second, right?
Yeah.
So say they go missing,
Right.
right? These places they go missing. Now, we're going to drop a 40,000-pound bomb where a place that people have gone missing and possibly are still there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are possibly still there. Like the last known place they were
Right.
was there.
Yeah,
And you're going to drop a 40,000-pound bomb where people could still be.
exactly.
Like, that just seems a little suspicious to me by itself.
Yeah. And I just don't understand how many people go missing there. It's crazy.
It is crazy.
Like that particular area,
Yeah.
that's just weird. And now they're dropping 40,000-pound bombs in that area.
Yeah, so let's talk about Atlantis, right? So for Atlantis,
Yeah.
they don't want any probably people coming near them,
Yeah.
you know?
So they take them out.
So when people are like, boats are going near it, it's like a restricted zone, like get out of their way, right? So maybe
Yeah.
they're taking people and destroying their boats. Try to send a message to people like, don't come near this area. This is where people go missing. It all makes sense.
Right. It's weird.
It's not just weird, okay? You telling me that is weird, bro? People are freaking all going missing there.
Yeah, so on to the next. This was a study that was done to find the difference between people that use iPhones and people that use Androids.
This was actually a crazy study, and I feel like people are going to be very upset when they hear this.
Yeah, so New York posted a study and they found that Android users are actually more introverted and iPhone users are actually more extroverted. But they did another study and they found that Android users are actually the more honest and nicer people, and iPhone users are actually people that lie a lot, but they're more adventurous and they're more curious. But what's crazy about this study is they found that Android users are actually the ones that are smarter with their money, because they found that iPhone users actually spend double the amount of money per day on their everyday life than Android users. And overall, iPhone users are just on their phones more than Android users.
Double the spending is absolutely crazy.
Yeah, they even found that iPhone users actually send twice as many texts per day and take twice as many pictures per day.
Yeah. Unfortunately, us iPhone users are being exposed right now, but it's okay. You know, I've heard this from you before.
Yeah.
And I've been able to digest it once.
Right.
And now I'm just more accepting of it. But, I still choose iPhone. I choose iPhone still, baby. All day, every day.
Okay, so on to the next. Many people question what's actually in Antarctica because we're really not supposed to go over there. But there was one man that revealed what was actually there, and that was Admiral Byrd.
Yeah, I remember this one. This is pretty crazy.
So for those who don't know, Admiral Byrd was a man who was sent on a mission to fly over Antarctica. But when he returned, he received the Medal of Honor, but nobody knew why or what he found. But on this mission, he had a flight flight log with him, and he was writing down everything he saw in this flight log. And in this journal, he wrote that he saw mountains that weren't covered in snow. They were actually covered in grass. And he said he found a bunch of mountains and rivers and all this other stuff. And he said that he even saw a woolly mammoth.
It is still really weird to me how no one knows why he got the Medal of Honor.
Right, and in his plane, he actually had a thermometer that showed the temperature outside the plane. And the temperature said that it was 74 degrees Fahrenheit outside of the plane. And the craziest thing about this is he claims that he saw a hole in the earth in Antarctica. And all he saw that was in the hole was this giant city.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at movies, right, how movies will kind of like put things that are real in fictional movies, and people are like, oh, it's just fictional, right? But where do they get the idea from? Like, it kind of all comes together. Who knows what's at Antarctica?
Yeah.
But if it's off limits to every country, why is it off limits?
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
There's got to be something more than snow there. You know what I mean? Like, we're talking about some X-File stuff.
Yeah, so moving on to the last theory, there's a theory on how fast food restaurants psychologically make you want their food.
I remember this one, and when I heard it for the first time, it made me feel that I've been taken advantage of my whole life.
Yeah, so everybody knows McDonald's. They always have the big yellow arches, but nobody ever questions why McDonald's uses yellow and red as their main colors. But it's actually because they're using this thing called color psychology, and there have been multiple tests and studies on this, but when people see certain colors, it can actually alter their emotions, and each color has their own emotion linked to it. So the reason why McDonald's always uses yellow and red is because yellow makes people feel excited, but red also makes people feel hungry, but also very impatient. So when you put these colors together, it makes people excited to eat food that needs to come out fast.
It's crazy how that works.
Yeah, and when you really think about it, there's a lot of restaurants that do this. You look at Sonic's, you look at In-N-Out, Wendy's, Pizza Hut. All these places do red and yellow.
It is crazy how many restaurants use it
Yeah.
and how effective it is.
Right? It's weird. You always wonder why they use red and yellow. And now you know.
Yeah, I mean, when you first told me about this, I remember thinking, like, the next day I drove by a McDonald's, right?
Yeah.
And I was trying to tell myself, like, ugh, don't look. You don't want it. You don't want it. But it's crazy how, even though I'm aware that they do it,
Yeah.
psychologically, when I look at it, it still affects me in such a, it has a way on me.
It's crazy.
It just makes me want to go get those fries,
Yeah.
So now I just can't drive anywhere. I'm just stuck at home. Can't.
Color psychology.
Look at Iron Man. I want to eat him too.
What?
He's red. He's
Yeah,
red. And,
no.
Okay. Well, never mind. All right, guys. If you made it this far in the podcast, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening, guys. This is 100 episodes. We've been doing this for 100 weeks. You guys have been with us since the beginning, and we're so grateful for you guys. Honestly, you're allowing us to live out our dreams. I can't believe we made it to 100 episodes. This is crazy. Thank you to everyone that's watched every week. Thank you for supporting us. And we love you guys so much. You guys are truly the best, and we're just so thankful for this opportunity that you give us to allow us to talk to you guys every week. So with that being said, I don't want to get all emotional here, but we're so grateful for you guys, and we'll see you guys tomorrow on TikTok, and we'll see you guys next Sunday on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube.
See you on the Tiki Talk.
God bless you guys. See ya.
Love ya.